Well, it seems to be getting a little hard to breathe in here in this tactic for some reason. This one is called the Asphyxiating 3-4-3 tactic. The description on the page, I did get this from, does say, today I bring you the tactic I made in FM26 that works wonders. Average 2 to 3 XG per match on 60% possession, tested with multiple mid and high tier teams, to name a few: Brighton, Paris FC, RB Leipzig, Arsenal, and I got championship in all of them. Championship or Champions League? I'm not sure. Either way, it seems to work wonders. But as usual, we're going to test it out in Sefian FM style with our three teams of Manchester City and Crystal Palace in the Premier League and Derby County in the Championship. So let's just dive into the Premier League and see what happens. Well, taking a look at the Premier League table, you can see, well, Man City come in second place, 75 points, 73 goals, not too bad. Crystal Palace in seventh with 58 and 57. Could have done a little bit better there. So let's start with Manchester City. We go to their fixture schedule and we scroll down all the way, and you can see FA Cup. They lose to Wolves 0-0 in penalties. They do win the FA Cup against Liverpool in extra time, so a very well-deserved win there. Unfortunately, the Champions League, they lose both legs to Barcelona. So overall competition-wise, yeah, Premier League you came in second, not bad there at all. FA Cup, UEFA Champions League, I'm sure you could have done a little bit better. You did get knocked out in the round of 16 Champions League. That kind of stinks. Again, why you don't say competition progress here, that's beyond me. But EFL Cup, you do get the winners, so at least a trophy comes out of the season. And if we go all the way back to the players, you can see the senior squad. Of course, they've got a fairly big squad. They didn't do it really well, of course. But goals, 43 for Haaland, 14 for Marmoush. Assist, 13 for Silva. Nunez with 11. An average rating, Erling Haaland with a 7.54. But now we turn our sights to Crystal Palace. Looking at their fixtures, unfortunately, they lose to Liverpool in the Community Shield 2-2 in penalties. In the the EFL Cup, they lose out to Arsenal 2-1. And in the FA Cup, they lose out to Birmingham 2-2 in penalties. They do get all the way to the Conference League final against Fiorentina, but lose 2-1. So, unfortunately, in all the competitions they had, they've lost everything. But if we go to their senior squad, let's go to their senior squad right now. And you can see appearances. SilaQtie getting the tops. Goals-wise, though, 23 for Nketiah. Sar with 19, as does Pino. Assist, 21 for Munoz. And average rating, well, Munoz gets a 7.40. So as we look at the data hub, you can see, yeah, as usual, performing much better than average. Team defending, they've got some great numbers in shutout 16, possession 1, 87%. Attacking wise, through the absolute roof. Premier League average on shots on target and pass completion ratio percentage, but overall, they did a phenomenal job, no question about it. Shots per game, 17, 1.7 non-penalty XG, 1.9 goals per game. Very, very nice there, all in all. And as we go back and we hit the tactics feedback, unfortunately, though, it's a C+. They are unhappy that too many goals have been conceded. And as we switch over to Crystal Palace, you can see pretty much, performing on an average level overall, performing much better than average defending and attacking wise. But you can only see the only green they've got there is 85.8 possession, 1 per game. And then team attacking, again, pretty nice. Not near the Man City route, but still 22 dribbles per game. It's 12.6 fouls against per game. And then we get to the general performance. They're standing out, or 1.5 goals per game is not bad. 1.4 non-penalty XG, and conceded per game is 1.6. So overall, not bad. It's 7th place. You're not going to expect much. However, a B+ on their tactics performance. Very pleased with the impact the Gegenpress style has had in recent matches. So that's not bad. So getting to the Premier League stats, though, if we take a look at the team stats, unfortunately, got to click several times. Team stats, average possession, Manchester City with 45%, 42 for Crystal Palace. Points per game, Manchester City all the way up tops, almost with 1.97. Crystal Palace with 1.53. Goals, Man City with 73 in second place. Crystal Palace tied for 8th with 57. Goals per game, Man City with 1.92. Crystal Palace tied for 8th with 1.5. Shots for, 648 for Man City. Crystal Palace in 10th with 475. Goals allowed, Man City in 4th with 36. Crystal Palace in 13th with 61. And shutouts, Man City with 16. Crystal Palace all the way down in 17th with only 7. But taking a look at the player stats, of course, Haaland with a 7.46, Haaland with 29 goals, most assists, Munoz with Crystal Palace with 15, Haaland with most shots, 115. So they're, of course, all over here. But overall, how do you think our championship side of Derby County fared with this tactic? Well, they did come in 4th place, and if you take a look, not too far off 2nd or even 1st. They could have done a little bit better, and as I usually say, if you take control of this and do your own, transfers and play the matches themselves, you could do a better job than you see here. 85 could easily turn into 87, getting automatic promotion. But unfortunately, Derby County lose out to Southampton in the playoffs in penalties. So fixture-wise, they only get as far as Sheffield Wednesday in the EFL Cup, losing 2-2 in penalties. However, FA Cup, they do have a couple of matches under their belt until they hit Ipswich and lose 3-2. So overall championship, not so bad. The others, FA Cup is not bad. Knocked out in the quarterfinals. See, why is there competition progress here, but not in the previous screen? Unfortunately, knocked out in the second round of the EFL Cup. But taking a look at Derby County's squad, of course, we get the goalkeeper with the most appearances, but 24 goals for Bobby Clark, Rian Brewster with 21, assists 16 for Johnston, Bobby Clark with 12, and average rating 7.54 for Max Johnston. Taking a look at Derby's data hub, of course, performing better than average, no question about it. Taking a look at defending, unfortunately, they're not hitting the championship average, it looks like, but attacking-wise, you definitely have some numbers there. 23 dribbles per game. Non-penalty XG, 2 flat goals per game, 11.9 fouls against. So you're doing very well attacking-wise. General performance, the non-penalty XG, the goals per game are pretty nice. And the board are very pleased with the impact the gegenpressing style has in recent matches. No real issues. They give it a B. I'll take it. Championship stats, they do have most goals. They do have most dribbles. So not too bad there. Average possession all the way down in 21st with 45%. This is not a possession-based tactic, clearly. Points per game, though, you do get up there with 3rd, 1.77. Attacking-wise, goals, Derby County in 1st with 94. Very nicely done. Goals per game, though, in 2nd with 1.96. Shots for all the way down in 7th with 694. 57 goals allowed in 5th. And I'm just going to leave it on shutouts in drawing with 8 with 12. I will tell you flat out, I do not like this whole stat screen. It is very annoying. So now the tactic itself, you can see it is a 3-4-3 right here. Out of possession, it does come down to a 5-4-1, 5-2-2-1, however you want to deal with it. Team instructions, I'm just going to list them right here on the side for in possession, out of possession, a little bit shorter, but not too bad right there. Now, again, tell me how you want to see these team shapes. Do you want me to click on every single individual player and show you all of their instructions in possession and out of possession? I can do that. It's just going to take quite a while because you have to click on each one, show them for a second, and then go to the next one. And it's a lot of player information right there. I don't know if there's a better way to do this, but unfortunately, this is all we've got. We got a box-to-box here. You can see in possession and out of possession. Travis is a deep lying playmaker, in possession and out of possession. I'm just going to go through all these for this one time. Another wing back on the right with in possession and out of possession. You can see if there's any player instructions versus positional instructions. We've got ball playing center backs, in possession, out of possession. These are, take screenshots, pause it wherever you want to see them. In possession, out of possession has that sweeper keeper out of possession role. That's interesting. I'm not all fully up to date on the new pieces of all this, especially the out of possession set, but ball playing center back, of course, in possession and out of possession. And then our goalkeeper is just a flat goalkeeper, out of possession, same as always. So overall, how did this work? I'm going to say this is more on the average side. Man City doing very well, but coming in second. I would love to see them come in first handily to really see a really dominant tactic. Derby County coming in third. Fantastic job right there. Or actually fourth, sorry. And they only a couple of, a handful of points off of second and a little more to get to first. But overall, I think it's not going to hurt you to take a look at this tactic. Crystal Palace, of course, coming in, 7th place. So all in all, they've got a lot of work to do, but bringing your own transfers is a fantastic start to try and fix a lot of this. And I definitely think it could work. But here, it was probably a mixed bag. But that's it for me, Saphian FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.